Sport washing. What is it? Well, it's when a cold-shouldered, controversial country uses the prestige and popularity of sport to whitewash its ugly reputation. The Live Golf Series is the latest sporting spectacle to face the charge. Top stars have been offered bottomless pots of Saudi Arabian gold to join the breakaway league and abandon the PGA Tour. And to supporters, that's just business. But to critics, it normalises a Saudi regime which uses forced labour, bombs children in Yemen and murders journalists. So is sport putting money before morals? Well, here's golf superstar Rory McIlroy, who spoke out against the Live Golf Invitational Series.
I'm sure not every Saudi Arabian is a bad person, and it's very, we're talking about this in such a generalized way, and I've spent a lot of time in the Middle East, and the vast majority of people that I've met there are very, very nice people, but there's bad people everywhere, and the bad people that came from that part of the world did some absolutely horrendous things.
Well, join me now, one of the most experienced Premier League managers of all time, former Tottenham and West Ham boss, Harry Redknapp. Harry, great to talk to you.
Piers, good to talk to you.
This sports washing, what do we make of it? I mean, the principle behind it is that these dodgy regimes, corrupt regimes that do terrible things, have appalling human rights records, use sport by investing heavily into the sports to try and improve their image. What do you feel about this phenomenon? We're seeing it more and more now in boxing, in football, in Formula One, now in golf.
I think it's been going on a long time, Piers. We look back to, people cleaned up their image by buying football clubs, coming to England, buying Premier League clubs. It's something that's been going on quite a while, obviously with the Saudi situation and the things that have gone in their country. But, they're now owning a club in the Premier League, Newcastle, and we can, we all feel strongly about the things that have gone on in that country, but, you can't tell them Geordies, 55,000 of them that turn up every week to Newcastle, they're not suddenly going to stop going, and the players have been offered enormous amounts of money to go and play in this new golf competition and golf tour, and they're going to take it. I mean, to be honest, they're not, if someone's coming offering them 50, 60, 100 million to go and play golf and where they can treble their earnings, they're going to think, well, if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. So, unfortunately, that is the way of the world. Someone will come along and tomorrow and say, well, do you want to come out and work in Saudi? We'll give you 10 times what you're earning now. It's very difficult to turn it down.
I mean, I think that my issue with it is there's a lot of hypocrisy around this. I mean, take the PGA, who run the biggest golf tournament in the world, the series. Everybody wants to be on it. But the PGA did let Phil Mickelson, a number of the other players on this Live Tour now, they did let them play in a Saudi tournament last year. The deal was they then had to play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am once in the next 2 years. That says to me this is not about morality, it's about money.
Yeah. But it's all about money, isn't it, really? Everything is about money, really, Piers. We've had the boxing going to Saudi. We've had, as I say, they're now owning clubs in the Premier League, and, nobody really, the Newcastle players will go over to Saudi for a visit with the management team and, as I say, in the Geordie, them great Newcastle fans who love their club every week, they're not the slightest bit bothered whose money it is, as long as they're buying better players, they're winning more games, they're up the league. I've always said years ago, if Saddam Hussein had had a team, they'd all be singing "There's Only One Saddam," the fans, That is how it is, isn't it? They're only interested. They give us a winning team, don't care where your money come from. How many times have you seen it in this country with people buying sports franchises who, we all wonder where their money's come from, and suddenly they change their image, they clean their image up by
I mean, we saw it, didn't we? We saw it with Abramovich at Chelsea, who was one of Putin's friends, and he bought Chelsea, he gave them a better image. With the war in Ukraine, he was unable to then denounce the war or criticise Putin because he would have probably been killed by Putin. So he'd said nothing, and as a result, he's lost it all.
Yeah, I mean, we don't actually know who owns half these Premier League clubs anyway, really, do we? Who, you know, we had people, you know, I hear stories. This guy who owned one club, he now owns another club in England, but he's not the chairman because it's his money. It's owned by the front man is somebody else. They're all, you know, they're using their money to wash their money, and it's. So really, we're not sure who's actually behind half the clubs in the Premier League. I wouldn't think it. Certainly a few of them anyway.
We've got the World Cup, Harry.
Russian money and
right. I totally agree with you. We've got the World Cup coming in Qatar, and as a result, it's not this summer as it should be. It's going to be in our winter. And my issue with that is, I saw FIFA, for example. You know, FIFA's been all over Pride Month and talking about we should be celebrating LGBT equality and gay rights and so on. And yet they've sold their most prestigious tournament, the World Cup, to Qatar, where it's illegal to be gay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hypocrisy again there, isn't there?
Absolutely. Well, you know, listen, we're not silly. You're a clever man. You know, why has it ended up there? You'd have to, you know, why have we have had all these problems with Sepp Blatter, Platini and all these people? It's all. Is
it corruption, Harry? Plain and simple.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? Why do they get these tournaments? You know, you see the Russians. You know, you see Putin with what's his name, Infantini or what his name is. You know, he's got giving him a lovely, nice. I don't know whether it was a gold watch or what he was getting off him one day, but you know, listen, that's how it works, unfortunately. So we'll end up with tournaments, you know, in places like that because it suits the people that make the decisions.
Yeah. Harry, great to talk to you. Really appreciate it. It's a complex issue, but I think in the end you're right. And I think there's so much hypocrisy about all this. Money will talk, and the hypocrites should
there is, for sure. Money will talk.
Hypocrites should take a back seat. Great to talk to you, Harry.
And you, Piers. Well done, mate. Bye.
All the best.